Alright, boys and girls, Saturday, June 4th, about 9 o'clock, Mount Moriah. Another 4,000 footer. Don't know the exact elevation at this point. We'll get it as we go along, but it's about 4.5 miles to the summit. Beautiful day. Low to mid 60s right now. I think it's going to get up in the 70s easily today, so should be a great hike. It's just me, Greg Beard, and Rafa, of course. So we look forward to a great hike. Here we go. So just started out, still within the first mile, probably the first half mile, but this is what the trail looks like. Pretty heavy canopy. Nice smooth dirt path. Trail's pretty smooth here. The climbing starts kind of right away. Nothing horrible, but it'll get you going right away. Get the muscles loose and the lungs opened up, but pretty easy going, at least the terrain. So at the beginning, not too bad. So we just hit the 1 mile mark and it just flattened out a little bit, but first mile is pretty much a steady climb. It's not bad because it's not rocky. Just starting to see a little bit in the way of rocks and roots, but not too bad. So a mile in, trail's still pretty gentle. So we just hit the 2 mile mark and the trail's still pretty forgiving. Sweat in the eye. A few slabs of smoother rock like this and a little bit more in the way of roots, but nothing significant. Looks like we're getting close to possibly a view here. But the second mile was not bad. We're 54 minutes in, 2 miles. That's not bad because, folks, I'm slow. There's a view through the trees, but that's about it. But first couple of miles, pretty gentle. Great way to get loose. I think we've gained maybe 1,000 feet or so, maybe a little more, in those first 2 miles. So, as you can see, trail is still just dirt, pine needles, very gentle. So, I don't know how long it'll stay this way, but I wouldn't mind if it stays this way for 2.5 more miles. So we'll see you in a little while. We're not too far from Mount Surprise, which I think is like 2.5 miles in. Probably have some water, something to eat, Cliff Bar, and then head up for the last 2 miles. So just a little past the 2 mile mark, looks like we have a little outcropping here. It's going to give us a view, and it sure is. It's about 2.2 miles from the trailhead. Wow, still snow on Washington. It's the only snow I see. But we're talking about June 4th. So nice view. Nice spot for lunch, but it's early for us. We'll just take it in for a minute, keep chugging. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but it's pretty cool. I'll try to zoom in. These flat rocks, the slabs up near the top of Mount Surprise, you can see all the scratches from spikes and crampons from the winter hikers. One way to tell you're going the right way, just follow the scars on the rock. Pretty cool. You can see this mountain gets plenty of use in the winter. So we're getting close to the top, and this is pretty cool. I'm not sure how it will come out in the camera, but that is one big boulder that seems to be just teetering, and Rafa's under it, so hopefully it doesn't teeter now, but pretty cool boulder. Been there a long time. So according to the Garmin, we should be just about there. But what I found out, and this is the second trip out, I've used it for some walks and some runs, but this Garmin Fenix 2, the older model, which you can get at a pretty good price right now, is I love everything about it except one big thing: it's not very accurate, at least in the woods. I'm going to check when I get back to see if there's some way to reset it or calibrate it, but in hiking mode over 2.5 miles, it seems to be off by half a mile in just 2.5. I was with Gadget last week on the Osceolas, and it seemed to be consistently off there, and today it seems to be the same way. I met some people at the top of Mount Surprise. His watch seemed to be dead on, and mine was already half a mile over. So I'm going to check into that and probably do a review on this watch. I love everything else about it, just needs to tell the truth. So over the last mile or so, this trail has changed quite a bit. This is what a lot of it has become, this kind of this shelf rock, flat, covered in slime, and it's actually not as bad as it looks, but it's still slippery. So this going is much slower on this stretch. It's got much steeper, and like I said, this wet kind of slimy rock has definitely slowed us down. So have no idea how far to go. As I said earlier, this watch is not doing its job, but I think we have to be probably within half a mile or so to the summit. You can see, though, still a good amount of climbing to do. I think another 200 or 300 feet of elevation gain at least before we get to the top. So just taking it slow. I think Rafa's getting impatient, but just taking it slow. Going to take a break up there, get some water, and as usual, won't spend a lot of time up there and just chug down. So we'll see you at the top. So that's helpful. Hopefully that means it's imminent. We'll see. The Mount Moriah summit.
Weirdo.
Alright,
nope, my text is not going through.
I'm not feeding.
Unbelievable views. Very small summit, just a rock. But the views are amazing. Tough little last mile, but not bad overall. We're gonna head down. Alright, heading back down a little before 1 o'clock. Didn't do a lot of filming and talking up at the summit because it's pretty crowded. It's just a little slab of rock, and you get 7 or 8 people in there and it's pretty much full. So had some food, had some water, chatted with some nice people, and now we're heading back down. Like I said, a little before 1 o'clock. Hopefully we'll make decent time. This first mile won't be so fast, but after that it should be pretty easy going. So just took a pretty good spill on one of these. been doing pretty well today, but this isn't the one, but similar. Caught myself at first and then ended up on my backside and a little bit of a yard sale with the poles, but seems like no lasting damage. But this is tough in some areas just because of this smooth shelf. Other than that, it's not bad at all, but just a few areas you have to be really careful on this trail. So this is I just wanted to show, this is what it looks like in some of these areas. This stuff is this is dry here, so it's pretty good footing, but you just don't know, so you have to take it slow. I think we're just about back to Mount Surprise, and then after that this stuff stops and we'll pick up some pretty good speed. Back to Mount Surprise. Sun is out, view is beautiful. The bugs are a pain in the ass, but you couldn't ask for anything else. It's a great day and a beautiful spot. And I think pretty soon we're done with the ledge, and then it's just kind of a stroll in the woods. So we were rushing to get done, and we actually forgot to film the end of the hike. So we're back on the road heading back towards Boston. And just to wrap up, Mount Moriah, number 10 on the 4,000 footer list. It was a great hike, not too bad. The top is a little difficult, but overall not too bad. Great day, 75 degrees and sunny now that we're on the road. Stopped for some cold water. About 3 hours back to the Boston area, but another good day in the whites. So getting closer and closer to the big day when we hit the Pemi for a 3.5 day Pemi loop. So these hikes are certainly great to get the legs in shape for that. Intimidated, just get out there and take a day trip, or just get out and go backpacking.